Hello everyone and welcome. Today we have a practice that is going to focus on both strengthening and soothing the neck. The only way to really do that with any effectiveness is we do have to incorporate muscles from the shoulders and upper back to assist that process. So it's fine to move the neck all by itself, and it's sort of a good assessment tool to see where you've got problems, but to really sort of remedy those problems, you do need to incorporate other key muscles. As I said, it's both soothing and strengthening, so you get a lot for the hour you'll practice. And we're going to be so slow and thorough with the entire practice that we won't spend a lot of time warming up, because the entire practice will be warming and strengthening as we go along, and it will build slowly. Okay, so you won't need any particular props unless you just like to use bricks. So bring what you need, and as you're ready, we're all gonna sit in a comfortable seated posture. Just spend a couple of minutes centering here. So just feel the anchoredness of your sits bones, wherever they are, either on a chair or on the floor. And just feel the shoulders trying to release down, and a little lengthening in the neck naturally as you feel the sits bones press down and the crown of the head trying to point upward. And slowly, as you arrive, just bring your focus to your breathing. Just notice that you're breathing. And just watch it for a couple of breaths. And then this is the time period that if you feel any tension in the body, see if you can release that just by your mindfulness. And then slowly let's begin to shape that breath into that long 6 count inhale and exhale. And also feel the breath three-dimensionally in the body. It's nice if you can to pause after each inhale, even just for a second or two, and also after each exhale. So just feel as though you're punctuating each inhale and exhale with a tiny pause. Just becoming more and more thorough with your breathing. And just open your eyes and continue with that breathing pattern. In fact, continue with that same breathing pattern as much as you can throughout the entire practice. And just allow the arms to come to the sides of the body. Have a really good thorough stretch on the next inhale as you bring the arms up over the head. Reaching up nice and high. Clasping the right wrist with your left index finger and thumb. And on your next inhale, really pull up and then exhale over, looking over a little bit. You're pulling over to the left, but you're looking over to the right slightly. Just have a pause and then come on back with the inhale, nice and long, and clasp the left wrist now. Next inhale, really long, and exhale over to the left, or I'm sorry, to the right as you look to the left. Reaching up on the inhale, and slowly on the exhale, just bring your hands to the heart. Namaste. And then from here, let's go ahead and come to our tummies on the floor, face down. And just bring your one forearm, one hand over the other and just rest your forehead there. And you keep your forehead down. I'm going to raise my forehead so you can hear me, but I want you to keep your forehead on the floor. And then just slowly feel the anchoredness first of the body on the floor. Feel the tummy pressed against the floor. And on your next inhale, I just want you to feel as though the right leg from your gluteal muscles all the way to the foot is getting really long and strong. Stretch the leg out and then release it. Do the same thing on the left side. The next time you inhale, you're strengthening the left leg and firming it up. And then again on either side, just nice and slow as you inhale. Feel the muscles engage. You're warming up everything just by squeezing it on the right side. And releasing as you exhale. Doing the same again on the left side. Next inhale, do both sides. So both hips all the way down the legs, really engaged. Maybe your knees rise up off the floor a little bit. And then release. Tuck your toes under now. And just nice and thoroughly, the next time you inhale, do the same thing just with the right leg. You're so thoroughly. Make sure the kneecap is centered so your legs are completely straight. They're not going off to the side. So as you inhale, knee might raise up off the floor. Heels are facing the floor. Toes are on the ground, and feel the strength, and then release. The same thing on the left. Really feel from the gluteal muscles all the way down the leg, really strong, and then release. And let's do the same thing now on both sides. You're really engaged here. Toes pointing down, heels pointing up. Thighs are probably rising up off the floor as well as the knees. Feel the engagement. The sits bones are pointing down towards the heels. Feel that, hold that. And then release it to the floor. And just sashay a little bit side to side. Very good. And then if you will, just bring your forehead right to the floor and just have a little bend in the elbows. So sort of like a cactus shape, palms to the floor. Just have a few breaths where you inhale and you're just pulling the floor towards you a little bit as you look up slightly. With just a little movement. As you exhale, you're coming back down. Inhale, pulling the floor towards you. It's nice and easy, and you're just looking forward. And then you release the forehead to the floor. And then again, pulling the floor towards you, using your arm muscles, not to push down, but just to pull back, like you're just pulling the floor towards you. Look up, and then release. Bring the hands right underneath you, using the arm strength. Let's come on up into a tabletop position. Get into the neutral tabletop position. You know how to do this. You really feel your palms spreading on the floor, and you feel the weight really sort of engaged towards the roots of the fingers, a little more towards the inner hands. And then as you inhale, just feel the length in the spine, feel a little broadening in the collarbones, and just look forward an inch or two. As you exhale, bring the hips back towards the heels, elbows to the floor. Release your head and neck and release your low back. As you inhale, come on back up again. And remember, you're just widening the collarbones, looking forward. As you exhale, you're coming over to a little C curve. The right shoulder, right hip tries to come closer together, and you look over towards the right. As you inhale back to center, broadening in the collarbones. And on the exhale, looking over your left shoulder and bringing that left hip a little more towards the left shoulder. Inhaling, coming back to center, feeling the length in the breastbone slightly and the widening in the collarbones. And then exhale. Hips back towards the heels, release down. Inhaling, coming back up, and let's do that little C curve again. Exhaling over to the right. Inhaling to center. Exhaling over to the left. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, back hips towards the heels. Release your low back, release your neck. Inhaling last time, coming up. Exhaling over to the right. Exhaling back to center, nice broad collarbones. Feel your inner hands. And then exhale over to the left. Lovely. And then inhale to center. Bring your hands one hand length further ahead. Flex your toes under. Come on into downward facing dog. Anything you need in your downward facing dog, have that now. We'll just be here for another breath or two. As you inhale next, go ahead and let the knees slightly touch or lightly touch the floor. Your arms are really strong as the elbow creases point forward. Inhale, raise your heart. Continue, raising your heart, raising your tailbone into a bit of a cat, or cow rather. As you exhale, you're coming into the cat position. Inhaling into the cow. And exhaling into extended child's pose. Hips to the heels, your arms are long. Let's inhale into the plank pose. Really important that your arms are strong. Your elbow and arm and shoulder joint is integrated. Core is strong. And then on the exhale, lift your core and come on back into downward facing dog. As you inhale, one more time, touch knees to the floor. Lift into your cow pose. As you exhale, into the cat pose. Inhaling back into the cow pose. And exhaling into the extended child's pose. Inhaling, coming into your plank pose. And exhaling into downward facing dog. Let the core take you there. Very good. From your downward facing dog, step a little closer to your hands and wider. Find the position where you can maybe bring your hands even a little closer together, but what you want is to really be able to anchor your weight through your heels and feel a really long spine. So you want to feel heavy through the heels and be able to relax the whole of your upper body in your wide stance here. Just take a few breaths where you can really feel anchored through the feet, but what you're really going for is a long spine. So feel as though the tailbone is pointing back and you can feel the separation, the little airspace between each and every vertebra in your spine. You feel a little stretch in the arms as you reach the arms forward, and you let the head and neck relax completely. Any little movement, sometimes it feels good to just press into the hands a little bit and then raise the left side of your chest as you look to the left. Back to center. Do the same thing on the right. You just rise up in the right side of the chest as you press down through the hands and look over to the right. So find that subtle little internal movement to really feel the muscles starting to wake up now. And when you've had enough of this, you can spend a few more breaths here if you'd like. But what we're going to do is start to bend the knees and just trace those fingertips back. And we're going to bend the knees enough, lower your bums, so that we can all easily come to standing from here when you're ready. And as you come to standing, let's go ahead and just recenter ourselves. So find your standing position, your mountain pose, and make sure the weight is even on both feet and on the big toe side and the little toe side. And just feel yourself sink into the floor through your feet, but yet also extend upward through the crown of the head. And just allow yourself to have a couple of breaths where you get right back into that rhythm. 6 count inhale, 6 count exhale. And then the next time you inhale for your 6 count inhale, you're just going to sweep the arms out and up. Look up. Extend and stretch. And as you exhale, bend the knees deeply, nice firm footing, and just drape your upper body over your legs. Firm abdominal contraction. And then as you inhale, come right back up. Just a little springing off your feet. Come back up. Inhale, look up. And as you exhale, again, going back down into your forward bend. You just have a nice weight in your feet, deep bend in your knee, and you nice and slowly go down on that 6 count exhale. Relax your head and neck. And then as you inhale, push into the feet and rise back up again. And just like this, a couple more times, nice, long, slow breathing. Make the movement thorough and slow. So even this, you're strengthening, but it's also, you're still warming up in some ways. Full inhales as you look up towards your fingertips, and one last time. Fold over, nice deep bend in the knees. Abdominal contraction as you go down, and release your head and neck. And then inhale, let's sweep back up. And then relax the arms to the sides of the body. And then if you'll just take your left hand, the back of your hand, and just put it right to the back of your waist. As you inhale next, take your right arm and just rise it right up over your head. Feel the length. And as you exhale, coming back down, and a little less bend in the knee, but just a little one. Coming down with a nice long spine. Keep the arm extended all the way down. And then when you get there, just relax the head and neck for a moment. Nice long. Remember, you're exhaling to a 6 count. As you inhale next, you're just going to come up halfway. You want to keep your neck in line with the rest of the spine. Reach forward. Feel the weight in your heels. And then as you exhale next, you're coming back down to the floor with the right hand. Progressive abdominal contraction. As you inhale, sweep all the way back up again. Look up. As you exhale, you're going to lower the right arm as you turn your head away from that lowering, descending arm. And then put the right hand on the low back, extend or just lower your left arm and get ready on the other side. So as you inhale, you're rising up with the left arm. Look up. As you exhale, little bend in the knee, progressive abdominal contraction. As you keep the spine long, the arm long, all the way down. And once you get there, just release your head and neck. As you inhale, you're going to just rise up halfway, reaching with the arm, but make sure the back, the entire spine is still long and your neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Reach out with those fingertips on the left side and exhale, progressive abdominal contraction as you come back down to the floor. And inhale, rise up, reach up, look up, and as you exhale, you're descending the left arm as you turn your head away from the descending arm. And let's just do that one more time on either side. So the left hand now is right on the back of your spine. As you inhale, the right arm rises up, you look up. As you exhale, a little bend in the knee, and you just sweep gracefully down, keeping length in the arm and the spine as long as you can, coming down. And then release the head and neck. As you inhale, you reach forward, spine is long, neck is in line with the rest of the spine, and you reach forward with that right arm. As you exhale, you release back down to the floor, that little abdominal contraction. And then as you inhale, you're sweeping the right arm up, coming back up to a lengthened position, looking up. And as you exhale, descend the right arm as you look towards the left. Release the left arm now to the floor, right hand, back of the hand is right in the small of your back. As you inhale, you're reaching up with the left arm, look up. As you exhale, coming forward into all the way down to the floor. As you inhale, come up halfway and reach and really lengthen here. And slowly as you exhale, bring that left arm back to the floor as you just fold gently over the upper body, over your legs. Release your head and neck. And then on the inhale, let's sweep up, look up. And as you exhale, you just look away from that descending arm. And then release, back to the front again. Now from here, let's go ahead and stand with your legs just slightly further apart, look down, and just roll the shoulders a little bit. And again, really arrive in your body for this next segment. You're going to step the right leg back and make sure you're rooted through the back heel. In this position, I want you to just put your opposite hand to opposite shoulder and bring your chin towards your chest. Just feel the length in the back of the neck. Feel the weight also in the back leg now and in the back foot. And feel yourself balanced and grounded. As you inhale, you're going to open the arms into that cactus shape as you bend the knee. Bring the elbows down slightly and just look up. Widen those collarbones. And as you exhale, bring the hands back to the shoulders and looking down. Feel the length in the back of the neck. And as you inhale, widen out again into the cactus shape. Slight looking up. Feel a little weight in the back leg. And as you exhale, back to the original position of opposite hand to shoulders and chin, looking down towards your chest. Inhale, opening out. Feel the broadening in your chest as you look up, chin up just a little bit. And as you exhale, back to the starting position. You might feel a little challenge in your balance, and that's good. It's again, the balance aspect is rolled right into the entire practice. So as you inhale again, let's try again, coming in, pressing into the back foot, looking up, feeling the widening in your collarbones. And as you exhale, opposite hand to opposite shoulder and look down. And then one more time, as you inhale, open out, bending the knee, putting a little weight into that back foot, look up. And then from this position, as you exhale, just bring your elbows right down into your waistline, towards your waistline, and try to keep those arms. They'll want to come forward. See if you can keep them right to the sides of the body. As you inhale, keeping that same angle in your elbows, you're going to reach up with bent elbows, look up and just touch your fingertips over your head. And as you exhale, bring those elbows back to the waist nice and slowly as you look down. Inhale, bringing the elbows, or rather the fingertips together with the elbows bent, looking up. And as you exhale, elbows to the sides of the body, looking down. And again, inhale, looking up, feeling length, feeling a little weight in the back foot. And as you exhale, elbows back towards the waistline, nice broad collarbones. And then release the arms, release your legs. And you're going to step back into your back foot. And from here, we're going to come into a little bit of an eagle pose. So all you're doing, that back foot is the right leg. You're crossing the left leg over. Big toe of the left foot can stay on the floor. Broaden out with the arms. And then cross over with the right arm on top. And remember, if you're not able to do the cross in eagle pose, just bring the backs of the hands together. So just come into your version of eagle arms. From here, it's just a little bit different because you are going to keep your toe grounded on the floor of the front leg. And you're going to sink a little bit lower now. Then I want you to hinge at the waist, keeping the spine relatively straight. Come forward, looking down towards your elbows. As you inhale, you're going to bring the elbows away from the body slightly and up. And the shoulders are going to try to stay where they are. So you feel a little resistance there. And as you exhale, elbows back towards the body. You keep your gaze just straight down. As you inhale, you're bringing the elbows out and up a little bit. And as you exhale, feel a full body experience as you contract the abdomen, bringing those elbows slightly more into the body. Keep the neck long, and just like this, just really get into this little movement and breath for just a couple more breaths. Remember, you're trying to keep the shoulders relatively stable, so it's a little resistance there as you raise the elbows. You feel the little stretch in the upper back. And exhale, elbows back towards the body. The next time you've exhaled and you're in the position with the elbows close to the body, just release the arms, uncross the legs. And just stand in Tadasana for just a moment. And just see how it feels. How's your neck feeling? How's the body feeling in general? And so this time the right foot stays in the front and you step back nice and long with the left. Make sure that your legs are not in one line and make sure your back heel is rooted to the floor. And just place the opposite hands to opposite shoulders, looking down. Make sure you feel steady. And begin when you're ready. On the inhale, you're going to bend the front knee, open the arms into the cactus shape, look up, press into the back foot. And as you exhale, nice long slow exhale as you put the hands back to the shoulders, looking down. And just like that, let's flow with this on your own breath. Your inhale, opening up with the arms, looking up, pressing into the back foot. And as you exhale, coming back to the starting position, straightening the leg and looking down. And as you inhale, widening out with the arms, little anchoring in that back foot. And exhale, hands to shoulders. Just feel the length in the back of the neck. And again, inhale, broadening out. And stay here as you exhale, bringing the elbows towards the waistline. And you're trying to keep those forearms right in the one plane. As you inhale, keep the elbows bent. As you look up and touch those fingertips over your head, press into the back foot so you stay steady. And as you exhale, bringing the arms down, elbows towards the waist as you slowly look down towards the floor. So just like that, as you inhale, widening out, looking up. And as you exhale, bringing the elbows back towards the body as you look down. Just find a nice rhythm with the movement and the breath. Remember, you're trying for a 6 count inhale and exhale. So last one. And exhaling, elbows slowly back towards the waistline as you look down. And then releasing arms, straightening the front leg and coming back with weight to the back foot, which is the left foot, and then cross that right leg over. You're going to keep the big toe side or the big toes of the right side, anchor to the floor, broaden out with the arms, and then as you cross, the left elbow will be over the right, and find your eagle arm shape. Sink down in the hips, and then you can hinge forward at the hips and make sure your spine stays as long and straight as you can. And just gaze down towards your forearms, towards your elbows. And begin when you're ready, the movement. On an inhale, you're just going to raise the elbows up. Feel that little pull as you try to stabilize the shoulders. As you exhale, elbows go back in towards the body. So with this movement, the head stays steady. You're looking down slightly, and it's the elbows that are moving with the breath. Remember, offer that little resistance so that you don't let the shoulders come along with the elbows. And then the next time your elbows are in towards the body, you can just release the posture. Coming back to Tadasana briefly. Little roll of the shoulders. And just keep letting your awareness on these little pauses. Let your awareness go inward. Just feel yourself breathing and see what's happening. How are you feeling? And then let's widen out our stance. Nice wide legs. First, put the hands right on the hips and anchor towards down through the feet and lengthen. And release your arms. Inhale, rise up, look up. And as you exhale, hinge forward and come into a wide angle forward bend. Can you clasp your ankles with your hands and release the head downward? Now, as you inhale, you're going to bend the knees and also separate the knees a little bit. Feel that resistance. As you bring the torso and chest forward, look up slightly or look forward slightly. And as you exhale, you're coming back to the starting position, straightening the knees and just letting the head release and neck release down. So as you inhale, you're actively bending the knees, separating the knees slightly, and then trying to come out of the pelvic bowl with the torso as you look forward. And as you exhale, straightening the knees and releasing the upper body right between the legs. On the inhale, you're bending the knees, dropping your bums and separating those knees and really pulling the spine out of your pelvic bowl. Exhale, release. And just one more time after this. Make sure you release your neck on the exhales. When you inhale, you're bending the knees, lowering down and separating the knees slightly, looking forward. And then exhale, let's release. Nice relaxed legs or strong legs, relaxed upper body. And from here, you can either put your hands on your hips as you come up, or you can just sweep up if you're confident of your core strength. And exhale, release the arms, keeping the legs pretty much where they are. As you inhale, bring the arms back to that cactus shape. Lower the elbows slightly, palms forward. Find your length by pushing into the feet and downward and upward through the crown of the head. As you exhale, just bring the upper body from the waist upward over to the right. Try to keep your arms and elbows in about the same angle as they are. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Spread your awareness so you're not coming forward, you're not collapsing in the chest. It's just a pure side bend. And you're inhaling, remember, back to center. Feel the feet, feel the length. As you exhale, it's just coming over to one side. Find your rhythm in your breathing. You're inhaling a nice long slow 6 count coming to center. And you're exhaling over to the side into a side bend. Just like that. Very nice. And then from here, you can go ahead and release your arms. Let's turn the right toes out and left toes in slightly. Bring your arms back out. And try to take your version of triangle pose. And so you're not going to do anything heroic. What you're going to try to do is feel your own limitations. So as you come into triangle pose, you're reaching forward. And when you've reached that limit, you're just going to bring the arm down wherever it is. For many of us, it's going to be right here on the thigh. And so if it is, you might want to turn your hand over so you're clasping that leg, but not plowing your weight into it. Make sure you feel steady. You might be able to come lower, but make sure you're not plowing weight. Remember, this is nice and light, and you're reaching up with that upper arm. As you inhale next, take that upper arm and just bring it over your head. Nice, long, slow count of breathing. Look up at your hand. As you exhale, you're bending that elbow and trying to point it towards your hip as you look down at your right toes. As you inhale, you're straightening the arm back again, diagonally over your head as you look up at that right hand, or I'm sorry, it's the left hand. And as you exhale, you're bending that top elbow and pointing the elbow down towards your hip as you look down at your right toes. So there's the movement, and see if you can just slowly, it's a lot to think about as the arm comes back up. Remember, you're just gazing up at your hand, turning the head slightly, oops, so you can look up, don't fall out of the pose. And as you exhale, you're bending the elbow and looking down at your front toes. Try to keep your chest from collapsing so you're still in the shape of triangle pose. And the next time you exhale, you're looking down at the right foot, elbows pointing towards your hip. Stay there and straighten the top arm so that the elbow crease is facing towards the ceiling, and so is your palm. And then slowly in this position, bend your front knee. You might want to put your forearm on the knee, but again, or on the thigh, but you're not plowing weight. You keep looking down at those right toes and just allow that left shoulder, that top shoulder, to open up. That's why you want to keep the palm up and the elbow crease facing towards the ceiling. You'll feel that stretch now on the left side of your neck, left shoulder, left upper back, and try to breathe nice and slowly. Keep the head looking down so your neck is not active. You're just looking down and finding the opening in the left side of your neck. And then release that left arm down, sweep it up in a big circle, and let's all come into a warrior two pose. And just hold that little bit more weight poised into your back foot for a moment. And then let's release. Toes to the center. If you're okay, we're going to go right over to the other side. So left toes now point out and the right toes kick back a little bit. Inhaling the arms out to the sides. Coming into your triangle pose. So it can be just a little bit. Remember, you can just come forward a little bit or come to the side a little bit and then drop which is the lower hand, the left hand to the thigh if you'd like. Raising the right arm up, the upper arm up. And then on the inhale, let your gaze look at the hand as the right arm comes diagonally over your head. And then slowly upper elbow bends towards your hip and you just look down at your front toes. As the arm straightens again, you just look up at your hands. Feel the challenge in your balance. I'm certainly feeling it in mine. It's really good for you to do this, and it's good for your neck, but it's also good for the internal balancing. Just on your own breath, remember you're straightening the arm into a diagonal shape as you just look up at the upper hand. And then when you bend your elbow and point it towards the hip, you're just looking down at the front toes. Just like that. One more time. Inhale, feel the stretch. And as you exhale, bending the elbow, looking right down at the front toes. And just leave the arm there. And straighten the elbow, palm up. Elbow crease facing up, and then bend the front knee. And you can go ahead and put your forearm on the thigh. Remember, you're not plowing weight. You're trying to keep this chest open and look right down at those front toes. And keep rotating this upper shoulder outward by putting the palm towards the ceiling, or rather facing the palm towards the ceiling. Just feel the opening now on the right side of the neck as you look down. Nice long 6 count of inhales and exhales. And just let gravity work a little bit of magic for one more breath. And then let's go ahead and segue into Warrior Two, just by letting that upper arm come down, circle it up, and come on into your Warrior Two. Feel a little bit more weight into the back toes, back foot, back leg. Feel strong. And slowly release on the exhale. Before we come out of this pose, as long as you're able to continue in this wide-legged position, let's go ahead and inhale up, stretch up, and feel the extension in the spine. And as you exhale, come on down. It feels a little bit like there's an isometric contraction between the big toe side of both feet. So you're attempting to isometrically bring your feet closer together. Come on down with your hands to the floor. And if you can, you're going to turn the fingers backwards, and start to walk your hands as far back towards your heels or beyond your heels as you're able to do. Make sure the palms can lightly grip the floor. And then you're going to keep the legs straight as they are. As you exhale, just clasp the floor, bend the elbows, and round the upper back. Bring the chin towards the chest. As you inhale, straighten the elbows and turn the chin up and look forward just a couple of inches. Straighten the back. As you exhale, you're pulling the floor towards you as you flex the spine. Bring the chin a little more towards the chest. And inhale, looking forward, straightening the arms, straightening the spine a little bit. And see if you can find a lovely little rhythm in this movement. So in this aspect of the pose, we're only actually moving the upper body. The legs are staying as they are. And you just feel the upper back opening, flexing, and extending. Very good. And when you've had enough, you can bring your hands back forward a little more, fingers pointing straight ahead, bend the knees a little bit. And if you'd like, you can put your hands on the thighs before you come up. Or if you feel confident, you can just sweep up. And exhale, release the arms. Heel and toe a bit closer together, and then hop forward. And just take that moment to go inward and see how you're doing, what's going on in there. And then, if you're close to a wall, I invite you to go over to the wall. You don't need the wall if you're not close to a wall or don't feel like getting close to the wall. It's absolutely fine not to have it. So I'll show you both ways. If you're close to the wall, you're just going to bring the right foot forward, touch your finger points to the floor where you can keep the arms straight and not hit the wall. So bring the left leg back. And then if you don't have a wall, your hands are just pointing forward, right leg forward, left leg back. And from here on the inhale, you just raise the right arm straight up. And as you exhale, Bring the arm back as you follow it with your gaze. And as you inhale, big wide circle with the arm, comes back down, forward, and up. When you get to that up position, can you press a little more into the back heel? And as you exhale, you're opening up towards the right as you bring the right arm back. Big circle with the arm coming all the way forward as you inhale, and then the arm up, pointing up to the ceiling. And then the exhale is bringing the arm back. So just feel that lovely movement. And you're just moving the body, upper body mainly, and the neck. The next time you exhale and come into the position with the arm pointing back, stay there and just have a few breaths here. Every time you inhale, feel the anchoring of your feet and the length, crown of the head pointing towards the ceiling. But as you exhale, feel a progressive abdominal contraction, and can you move your rib cage a little more towards the right? Inhaling length, exhaling, just reestablishing your twist. Lovely. And then from here, keep the body where it is and just move your head so it's looking towards your front hand. And then release your arms, so the back arm, so the back of the hand is, the right hand is resting on your low back. And then continue. Increase the twist if you can, just by looking over to the left as you move your chest towards the right. So it's subtle. Just find the place where you feel that little challenge, looking towards the left with the head, and the chest is trying to look towards the right. And then slowly, when you're ready, let's release the front arm, release the back arm, and come forward with the back leg. And see how you're feeling there. Roll the shoulders. And when you're ready, we'll do the exact same thing to the other side. So remember, your fingertips are either on a wall, which some people find a little more grounding, or you're just going to have your hands out. And this time, you want the right leg back. Doesn't have to be quite as wide as a normal warrior one. Hands are in front, or the fingertips are poised onto the wall. And when you're ready, it's on an inhale. Left arm rises up. Feel the length in the body and press into the back foot. And as you exhale, looking towards the left as the arm goes back. Nice big wide circle as you inhale. Ends up, the arm ends up, pointing back up to the ceiling. Feel that length and then exhale into the twist. Get into your own lovely little rhythm when you know the movement. You're exhaling into a twist, looking back as much as your neck allows. And you're inhaling into a big wide arm circle. Exhaling into the twist. Next time you exhale into the twist, stay there. Inhale, you're pressing into the feet a little more, feeling length through the crown of the head. But as you exhale, just ever so gently, you're just accentuating the twist a little bit. Progressive abdominal contraction as you turn the chest a little more towards the left. Inhaling length. Exhaling twist. And keep the body as it is for right now, and then just slowly turn your head to the front. Look at your right fingertips, the front fingertips, and then let the left arm come down where the left hand is just on the small of your back, the back of the hand. And slowly just breathe into this where you're looking a little more to the right and the chest is coming to the left. Really anchored through both feet. And when you're ready, you're just going to release that effort. Coming out of the pose. And in your Tadasana, just a couple breaths. And then just have your feet a comfortable hips distance apart. And then as you inhale, breathe the arms straight up. Feel the length, look up. As you exhale, deep bend in the knees. As you sweep the arms down, can you clasp your ankles with your hands and just drape the upper body over your bent thighs. If it doesn't touch, it's fine, but just make sure the knees are generously bent and you can feel a little release in your low back. As you inhale, straighten the knees and just bring the heart and chest forward. Your gaze comes forward a few inches. And as you exhale, you're bending the knees and just letting the body drape over your legs. Really let the neck get heavy. As you inhale, you're trying to straighten the legs and just bring the torso away from the thighs as you look forward. And exhaling, releasing totally. Nice bend in the knees and you're letting go in the head and neck. Upper body is just draping over the thighs. Do that a couple more times. You're inhaling, straightening the legs as best you can and looking forward with the chest and the gaze. And releasing into your forward bend on the exhale. And the next time you've exhaled, nice firm, or rather thorough bend in the knees. And then from here, press into the floor, sweep up on the inhale. And exhale, release. And then from here, we'll all come back to the floor. So as you come back to the floor, we're all going to come into a seated posture. And make sure you can be comfortable. You can either be cross-legged or perched on something kneeling like I am. Or as I said, you can even come to the chair. We're just going to do that a little breathing exercise. We will close from Shavasana tonight, or today, I'm sorry. And so let's take just a moment to come into the seated posture now and just have a little pranayama. So find your spinal length. Just allow yourself to go inward. And we're going to do that little Brahmara breath. Remember, some people call it bee breath. It's just a nice full inhale. And you exhale, a little humming noise in the back of your throat. Nice big inhale. We'll all try it together a few times. Big inhale. Remember, as you exhale, mouth is closed. It's just right there at the back of the throat. You feel that little vibration. Just letting the exhale go as long as your natural exhale. Let's continue just a few more times. And when you inhale, let it be really slow and just let it fill up as much as you can allow it to. just last one. And just as a little reminder, remember that just 10 repetitions of that can have a positive effect on the rest and restore part of your nervous system. If ever you feel a little bit stressed, you can try it for a whole minute, just privately on your own, anytime. So let's go ahead and make the transition now to the floor from there. Nice and slowly, and just notice if there's any difference in the way you feel. Hopefully the nervous system to help you release and relax is already kicked in. And coming to the floor, just having a big stretch, whatever's comfortable, however's comfortable for you. The biggest stretch you've had all day, and then bend the knees. Bring both knees in towards the chest and clasp right in front of the shins with the wrists, forearms, hands, whatever's comfortable. As you exhale, really bring those thighs close in, flex your feet. And as you inhale, just let the legs come away from the body. Just have another 3 rhythmic breaths like that. As you exhale, thighs come closer towards the body. Flex your feet. And as you inhale, just let the thighs naturally come away a little bit. And keep going, just a couple more times on your own breath. And then stretch the legs out and place your elbows right up underneath, down close to your waistline, I mean. And wiggle around a little bit. We'll just come into a little modified fish pose here. So your forearms are pointing straight up towards the ceiling and the tips of the fingers. As you inhale next, really press into those elbows and lift your chest a little bit off. Have the back of the head resting on the floor and just lift off as much as is comfortable. So your hips and sits bones are anchored, the back of the head is anchored, and your elbows are anchored, but possibly the back, upper back, and mid back has risen off the floor a little bit. And if it's more comfortable, you can come in and out of that on the breath. Now I invite some of you, this is the perfect pose for most of us, but for some of you who, if you would like to do the full fish pose, you can just put your hands underneath you, palms down, or make a little fist, whatever is comfortable. And you want to try to get the shoulder blades nice and close underneath you, behind you, and the elbows as well. And then on your next inhale, you're going to press into the arms, and you're going to attempt to put more the crown of the head on the floor. So maybe this is the fish pose that best serves you. So you're here, or you're here for another 3 breaths if possible. And then very slowly, you're going to release that pose. And then bring one knee towards the chest. And draw it as close in as is comfortable for you. And you're really letting the other legs extend out. Really long, slow breathing. And then change sides. So your extended leg is really extending, and you're just bringing the bent knee towards the body as close as is comfortable. And then release. And I invite you to do any final pose now before we all settle into Shavasana. whatever would feel really good to you. And if you've never had a go at exploring, I do invite you to do that now. Any little stretch or any little movement that you feel would complete your practice today. And then, as and when you're ready, we're just going to slowly all make our way into Shavasana. So the more we practice yoga, actually the faster we get into Shavasana. So as you come into the pose, remember, just first allow the feeling of surrender. That's all that's required. You're just letting go. Arms are a little away from the body, of course, and maybe the legs are separated, but otherwise it's a pretty loose pose. You're just allowing your weight to sink to the floor and just really feel held by the floor. If you haven't already done so, close your eyes and just gently begin to observe your own breathing pattern. And just notice that simple act of being a passive witness to your breath will take you deeper and deeper into relaxation. And just keep coming back with your awareness. If there's any tension in the body, just sometimes all that awareness is all that's necessary to release it. Just become aware and just let yourself sink more and more. And if you have the time, I do invite you to stay in Shavasana for a few more minutes on your own. Otherwise, namaste. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you next time.